132 here on TSN Radio 690. Welcome back to the snack. Jimmy G, Moe Khan here as we wait upon the man himself.
The majestic one, Dennis Bernstein.
That is correct. As he'll join us to break down some more hockey talk with us, as he, I'm sure, is watching the football game. USC playing Hawaii right now, 20-5 between the Trojans and Warriors in the third quarter of that game right now. Don't forget, I'll be on at some point during the weekend with the franchise guys breaking down the NFL preview. And you know what, Jim? We're about 2.5 weeks away from NHL training camps to begin. And yet we still talk puck in late August. Let's welcome in from the palatial Bernstein compound, Dennis Bernstein. How you been, sir?
Doing great, Mo. Mo, you know there's two football factions in my home, right?
San Diego and you being a Giant fan.
And I had to hear about like Tebow early in the evening, and then 41-6 happened. So
yeah, but it's preseason though, Dennis.
Mo. The Chargers are celebrating their golden jubilee of winning their last championship, 1963. Yet I have to hear about the Giants losing a preseason game at my house. Just wanted to put that out there.
San Diego does play the Giants this year.
Oh yeah. There's all kinds of bets in this house. I have a bet that the Dodgers won't make the World Series. $100 in a dinner at a steakhouse here, a high-end steakhouse. So I might lose that bet, but I'm not going to lose the bet on the Giants and Chargers. Come on.
I hope not.
The Chargers' best player got hurt. Their punter. Come on, the season's done.
I'll tell you this quickly here. I had a fantasy draft earlier Thursday evening before the show, and my buddy and I were trying to debate: do we take Philip Rivers with our second to last pick? He was taking like 2 picks before we were up.
That offensive line, that's going to be a disaster.
It's ugly. There. It's very ugly. Let's talk some puck though.
Sure.
The most glorified ball hockey game occurred earlier in the week here. Team Canada, the hot topic in Montreal is PK Subban, and the uproar is that some have speculated that Jay Bouwmeester might be ranked higher than PK Subban. If you are Mike Babcock, if you're Steve Yzerman, Kevin Lowe, and the many brains that will be trying to figure out the best formula for the Olympics in about 6 months' time from now, do you believe PK Subban deserves an opportunity to be part of Team Canada for February?
Well, I mean, isn't Bouwmeester a left defenseman? Unless you're going to play PK, here's the dilemma with PK. Okay, unless you're going to play him on his offside, right? Which I don't think they're going to do in the Olympics, right? Let me give you the three guys on right defense that are ahead of PK: Doughty, Weber, and Pietrangelo. And I'll submit to you that all three of those are better than PK. So will he make the team? Yeah. Will he play a lot? Mo, PK could be a healthy scratch. Unless you want to play him on that third defense. And here's the problem. Bouwmeester now plays with Pietrangelo. So would you pair those two guys on the third defense? Or would you put PK on his off defense to play with Pietrangelo just to get him in the lineup? I don't think so. So I think that's the limit. It's that this team is so good defensively, you can't swap out. Like, give me a guy you would take off the team on right defense, in the three pairs from PK. I mean, you wouldn't do it, right? I mean, he's going to have to wait a little bit. I mean, and those guys are, the next Olympics, they still might be around. So it's just that, the cream of the crop are all about the same age, and that's the issue. And Doughty, Pietrangelo aren't the physical presence that Weber is. So you're not going to take Weber out of the lineup. And you've got a situation where, Brent Seabrook might not make the team. Also, if it's Brent Seabrook or PK Subban, somebody's going to either sit on the bench and not get any time or actually be off the team. So I think, the Canadian fans have got to calm down. When you actually look at the defense, right, I mean, your first pair is going to be probably Duncan Keith and Drew Doughty. I mean, you got to win some games with that defense.
So are you saying that whoever's shooting the left side compared to the right side will have a better chance to make it, even though there could be an overabundance of right-handed shooters with this team then?
Yeah, I think if you looked at the roster that the TSN put together, I think earlier this week, right? I mean, when the big guys like Dusty and McKenzie, Drager, they got together. I mean, you had like Duncan Keith, Mark Stahl, Bouwmeester, the top three left defensemen, and the top three right defensemen were Doughty, Weber, and Pietrangelo. Well, there's no comparison there, right? So that's part of the issue. It's by the position you play, right? So you could put guys on their off shot, But I don't think you're going to do that. I don't think Babcock's going to do that. I mean, is it so terrible that Jay Bomeister's your third pairing left defenseman? It's probably where it should be, right? I mean, he's making a lot of money, but he's not an offensive threat. So I think that's what they'll stay true to their positions. But if PK was a left-handed shot, would it be in the lineup? I would think so. I'd probably be behind Duncan Keith. I gave you the other two names. He's certainly better than Stahl and Bomeister, but he doesn't play the right position.
I think it's just bitter resentment from Habs fans towards Bomeister for not signing with the Habs like 4 or 5 years ago when he had the chance. We're in conversation with Dennis Bernstein of the Fourth Period Magazine here on TSN Radio. So Adam Henrique signs a 6-year deal with the Devils. They now have produced money that's going to help them sign players. What impact will he bring now with this long-term deal locked up for the Devils?
Well, listen, at least they have one proven talent on the team. The problem is that how do you recover from like a 1-2 blow of losing Parisi and Kovalchuk in consecutive summers? I think that's part of the issue. Is that certainly they need to sign somebody, and you saw some of the signings they made. I mean, Ryan Clough. I'll still go back to that signing. That this is a team that for what it's worth, Mo. I mean, they're the third best team in that market right now, right? The Rangers are better. The Islanders are better. There's going to be a big change here, and I'm kind of writing a story about a 5 spot, like 5 guys on the spot. Lou Lamoriello is really on the spot here. He's got new owners coming in with fresh money, who's got deep pockets. But, Mo, this team has been a perennial contender. They've lost a lot of money because they don't market this team. And, Lou Lamoriello is going to – I think the chickens are finally going to come to home roots. You can't hang up a shingle outside the arena in Newark and say hockey tonight. You have to market this team. You have to be aggressive in the marketplace, especially in New York. The Devils with their colors – only team in the league, I think, doesn't have a third jersey, right? They haven't changed their logo in 25 years. I know it doesn't have anything to do with hockey per se, but this is entertainment, Mo. And it's a one rap I've always had against Lamoriello. He refuses to market this team. He refuses to develop stars. I think, it's certainly Parisi. He left, and then Kovalchuk, just said, I'm done. I'm going back. So, I mean, this team is devoid of stars. Their one star is, a 41-year-old goaltender who's in his last season. Right, so they've got a lot of work to do here, and if they don't make the playoffs and if they don't draw people, I mean, you could see one of the, and look, Lou Lamoriello has few peers with respect to identifying talent and building a hockey operation, but that's not what this is about, Mo. I mean, when you see these new owners coming in, and you see the guys in Phoenix who I've talked to already, the 2 owners up there, Gosby and LeBlanc, this is more than playing hockey, Mo. This is putting butts in seats. And Lamoriello, I'll put it out there, he's never been good at attracting, people to come in the building. They've always been the third team in that market, even though they've won championships. So I just think with this new ownership that doesn't care about a legacy and the record that he's laid down, they put up a lot of money, $385 million to buy this team. They're going to be very aggressive to sell tickets. And, Lamoriello's going to have to, be under their thumb because they do have a new CEO. This guy, Scott O'Neill, who was the CEO of Madison Square Garden. They're not going to just say, okay, build a hockey team, don't market them, don't, go outside the box, don't have ice girls, don't have third jerseys. I think you're going to see a really, really big change in the way business is done in New Jersey.
I certainly hope for the Devils' sake that this will help attract fans to the arena, though. That's going to be key for them is to get those butts back into the seats here, because if they don't get butts back into the seats, I hope this is not the dark days of New Jersey Devil hockey moving ahead.
I mean, it very well could be, Mo. I think this is really a situation where, Lamoriello is probably on the spot here to put the team back in the playoffs. He doesn't really have any drawing cards. Is Adam Henrique your best player? I mean, are you going to go see Marty Birdell's, final farewell season? Maybe. Right, Corey Schneider's in that, but he's not a draw. And Mo, it's like this is a New Jersey team, and it's not even like a northern New Jersey team. This is like a central New Jersey team because a lot of fans of the Rangers live in northern New Jersey. I will tell you this, that it's a nice arena. Nobody comes across the river from Manhattan to watch the New Jersey Devils play. It's a regional team. It's really a small to middle market team, Mo. So I just think there's a lot of challenges, and that's why you saw that. Look, Mo, we ran a story. They delayed paychecks to players this year, right? It's because it's not a big market team, and they have trouble. But now they've got guys that'll put up their money, and the guy's a billionaire. That Harris guy owns the Sixers, right? So now that part of it is stable. Right, but you've got to do other things to market this team to begin, especially with 2 other teams in the market, to get eyeballs on TV, to get butts in the seats, and it's really, I think, going to be really a paradigm shift for the way that the franchise is run.
bring some sort of element of the old New York Islander fish stick uniforms. That would really bring
something. Black and red, and you don't have a third jersey. I mean, it boggles the mind the missed opportunity to have to market this team and to develop other things other than just playing hockey at night.
We're in conversation with Dennis Bernstein of the Fourth Period Magazine here on TSN Radio. So Miguel Grabowski signs with the Capitals. Is he supposed to replace Mark Ribeiro's production on that team?
Yeah, we'll see if he doesn't. Well, they had to do something because they were going to play Brooks Leitch at second-line center. He's not a second-line center. Really good third-line center. Not a second-line center. So I like the deal for both sides. Guy comes in, if he produces, he'll walk away with a big deal. And he's one of those guys, Mo, that got caught up in this, this cash system, right? You've got the superstars and you've got the minimum guys, right? And now you're going to see, the second-line centers maybe. If the cap explodes, which I think it will, maybe, in 2-3 years you'll see these big contracts. But it's guys like Grabowski that there wasn't again, Mo, this goes back to one thing, right? $64.3 million cap. So if it bounces back to 70 and we get to 80 in a couple of years, like guys like Elliot Friedman say, then there's going to be a lot of money for everybody. But he's one of the casualties of the 64.3 cap. So if he comes in, blows it up, Ted Leonsis got money. They'll re-up him, for a multiple-year deal. If not, he'll go somewhere else. So it's this is a guy, one of these guys got squeezed out because of this drop in the cap, and it's not unfortunate because the guy is making $3 million this year, but it's why he didn't get a bigger term deal.
Who's more nervous, Nazem Kadri or Phil Kessel on a extension with the Leafs as they move forward?
Well, I'm not sure that Phil Kessel. I mean, it depends on the day, but I'm not sure that Phil Kessel wants to come back to Toronto. And Mo, he's staring $60 million in the face. He'll be 26 years old. If he plays his normal season, Mo, and let's assume another 30-goal season, at 26 years old, he would have put five consecutive 30-goal seasons up if you extrapolate out last season, right? You assume that Phil, I think he had 20-something goals, right? He would have scored 30, right? So a 5-time 30-goal scorer every 2 games. If he walks, what's he going to get? $8 million. He's going to get 8 for 7. He's going to get between $50 to $60 million a year. Would he be sweating? No. Does he want to come back? I don't think he knows yet. I wouldn't be, if I'm a Leafs fan, though, I wouldn't be worried that he didn't sign yet, right? Because, this could change up by October 2nd, Mo. I think maybe, they come to, if they put the money on the table, they certainly have the cash to afford it. They can do it. I wouldn't be doing it. I would worry if I'm Kadri. He's one of those guys that, again, Mo, you can't make money on your second deal, right? And I know, again, another guy getting squeezed by the cap situation. Take the bridge deal for 1 year or 2. Go make $2 million a year playing hockey in Toronto, in his early 20s, and go prove yourself again. Because he's a guy who had a good season, but the track record compared to Phil Kessel, it's not there, right? So take a bridge deal, whatever it is, 1 year, 2 year, get into camp, show up on time, be in shape, produce, and you'll get your money, Mo. So and he doesn't have any leverage either. I mean, Phil can walk and get paid and not worry about it. But Kadri's got to come through again this season in probably a tougher situation, a different division now, 82-game season. Let's see him over 82 games come in and produce, and he'll get his money.